All right, let's jump into the York Region lease report here. We can see median prices are down 3.7% month over month, 10.3% year over year. And for just this January until the end of July this year compared to last year, it's down 8.6%. When it comes to the transaction volume, transactions were up 9.2% with 1,823 um, properties leased out. That's a very strong number, especially when we look at year over year. Starting to see the amount of leases, 23.6% increase, very strong on the lease side. Prices are dipping, and one of the biggest reasons we're seeing is because new listings month over month was up 11.5%. New listings year over year up 28.5%. So we're getting a strong influx of new listings. The active listings are sticking around a little bit longer, even though when we look at the chart later, we're seeing that months of inventory is still very, very low with all things considered. When we look at median days on market, they've come down 1 day or 5.3% on the month over month side. But when we look at the year over year side in the middle column, it is up 20% from 15 days to 18 days. Now, when we look at the termination volume, terminations are up month over month 20.3% and year over year 57.9%. So what that's telling me is that a lot of places are still readjusting their prices. They're taking them off the market. They're relisting them at their new price. So prices aren't right where they need to be right now. Once we see that termination volume start to get down to the 5%, 10%, or even the negative side, then we're going to start to know that the market's kind of found its bottom. The buyers or the renters and the landlords have both kind of agreed on where that price floor is going to be right now. Last year we were sitting at $2,900. We're sitting at $2,600. So rents have come down $300 since last month. When we look at the new listings volume, we can see since 2011, this is huge. 2011, we had 504 new listings during the month of July. We're sitting at 2,778, which is a staggering amount of new rental listings that have hit the market. When we look at active listings, almost 3,000 active listings. This time last year, we were sitting at 1,741, and in 2023, we were sitting at just over 1,000 listings. So you can see that we've almost tripled the amount of listings on the market that are active since 2023. But like I mentioned earlier, the lease volume is significantly higher as well. Let's go back to 2011. There's 370 properties that were leased out in July as compared to 1,750 in July of 2025. Now in 2024, we can see that the demand has pulled forward, or not pulled forward, but the demand is a lot more than it was in 23 and 24, where we saw 1,400 and change units transact on the market. So definitely the lease volume, the amount of demand is sustaining the active listing amount and the new listings amount that we're seeing. But yet prices are rolling over, and that's because we are seeing a large active listings. Now, this is typically a time where the market bottoms out for active listings, the amount of stuff on the market, as we can see from our months of inventory chart. We start to bottom out here and we will accelerate to the upside. But even when we peak out, we'll probably peak out around 2.6 to 2.8, which is still favoring the landlords. But I do suspect that prices should still come down at least another $100 to $200, depending on the area and how many condos potentially might be coming online to the area. Because we know that 75-80% of all condos that are being finished now were purchased by investors. The market might not be that great for them to kind of sell them into the market, so they're going to need to rent them out. This is going to put pressure, especially on 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, it's going to put some pressure on the price that they can get for that. So that's your York Region lease report. If you have any questions about the market, if you're looking to rent out a unit or even lease a unit, you can always reach out to Dylan or myself.